Diaries of a Madman. Chapter 187. Part 5 of 5. So now what? Gilda asked. Twilight's on the second floor, drawing a teleport circle to the bunker. Let's go check her progress. After that, would you like to show me to my room? I can think of all kinds of ways to pass the time. I can show you to your room, but after that, I need to check on Luna. I'm not sure I'll have time for much lewdness tonight. I'm already starting to feel tired. I'll need to actually sleep soon. I'm sure we can make time. Let's head up to see Twiggles. We hit the stairs and began working our way up. My little Twilight was deep in concentration, drawing something on the floor in one of the corners. How's it going? I asked. She flinched and looked up. Fairly well. It should be done in about 20 more minutes. I'll need to do some work on the bunker side, but that shouldn't take me too long. I predict having everything done in about an hour. Excellent. Unfortunately, I'll probably be asleep in about an hour. Can you relay some orders to Watcher? Of course, but it would be more appropriate to ask Luna to do it. Then I'll ask Luna to do it. I need to show Gilda to her room. I plan on entering the coma sometime tomorrow around noon. Will you be available? Yes. Have you decided where you want to do it? Athena's realm. It might make Celestia mad, but I'll feel more secure against discordant meddling. Is the book still on the changeling ship? Twilight asked. It is. I'll get it after I finish this circle, she said. And I'll hold on to it until it's time. Cool beans. The princess will be staying here, if you ever want to rub her belly. I just might. The noises she makes are so cute. I feel as though I should take offense to that, Gilda said. You shouldn't, I replied. It's a compliment that means fucking you is always amusing. Then shall we go make some cute noises, my pet princess asked. I might finger you a little, but it won't be for long. I'll see you tomorrow, Twiggles. You'll need to make time to finger me tomorrow, too, she said. I'm starting to feel a little left out. I think I can make that happen. Gilda, let's go. And so we went. I didn't really know which room I should give her, so I gave her the other room on the 4th floor. It looked like it had recently been made up, so I assumed that was the one Doppel wanted for her. This is where you'll be staying, I said. I'm in the big room right over there. Ty is on the other side. Why not just forego my room entirely and stay in yours, she asked. Because that would be suspicious. We probably won't be spending every night together. I walked in all the way and closed the door behind me. She turned around with a grin. So, is it time for my cute noises? It is, I said. I'm going to put you across my knee and spank you. Talon me this instant. I dragged her to the bed and sat down, then forced her over my knees. She was struggling, but stopped and just squawked when I spanked her. How's it feel, princess? I asked as I fairly lightly love-tapped her pretty bottom. How humiliating is it to be spanked like a little hatching? NNAV, what are you doing? How's it feel to be weak and powerless, with no guards around to save you? I ask. You're all mine, little princess. How do you like it? I finally spanked her just a little bit harder and she actually moaned, then immediately blushed bright red. What are you doing? Confirming something, I said, finally moving the spanking hand somewhere a little more fun. We're definitely going to do some stuff out and about in Ponyville or something. Maybe a little remote-controlled vibrator so I can really humiliate you. I couldn't. Yes you can, I said. And I have a feeling you'll very much like it. As often as you talk about wearing a leash, I think something like this is what you really want anyway. She didn't reply, but did start making more of her signature cute noises as my hands did their thing. When I was done toying with her, I made my way down the stairs. Silver was still in her corner. Sunny and the changeling captain were sitting at another table, drinking tea. "What would you like for dinner, my lady?" she asked. "I wasn't really planning on eating." "You need to set a good example for your filly, my lady," she said. "If you don't keep eating, she'll probably stop, too. She might already be in bed, for all I know. If she's awake, we'll both eat. If she's already out, I'll also head to bed. Would you like me to go check on her?" "If you want, sure. I need to head out to the forge. It's absolutely frigid out there, my lady." "Are you sure you don't need a coat?" "My mama ain't raised no bitch." "I'll walk with her," Sketch said, hopping up. "I'll keep her warm." "Then come on," I said, beginning to walk to the door. My personal warmth changeling followed and used magic to open the door for me. "If you can use magic, why didn't you teleport to land?" "I didn't know how to teleport and the others didn't like it when we used magic." "Bummer." He projected a field of heat when we were outside and we walked on down to the forge in silence. I couldn't hear any clanging from outside, but when I pushed the door open, I could hear gentle tapping. "I advise you to stop where you are," Luna said from inside. "Are you threatening your lady?" I asked. "No. Of course you may enter." It was good she was saying that, because I was already pushing the door shut behind me. She was working on a silver necklace with a single blood ruby in the center. "I apologize. I assumed you would be asleep. I had a feeling I might need to stop you from doing something stupid, like crafting some kind of weapon or bomb. You have nothing to fear." "So what are you making?" "A necklace." "A collar." "You're making a collar?" "Yes." I sighed and crossed my arms. "And who is this collar for?" "My lady, you have asked that I not tell you when I do things that you perceive as creepy. I believe you may find my answer creepy, so it's best I not reply." "Are you making yourself a collar?" Her ears flinched. "Why are you making yourself a collar?" I could see the distrust in everyone's eyes. I could feel the tension when I stepped into a room. There is no rebuilding the trust that I have shattered. So I shall borrow the trust they feel for you. This physical sign of my subservience will be perfect to show off my loyalty to you. And when I craft the control wand, you can have me do as you will." "Yet, no, you're not doing that. This is what I meant by having to stop you from doing something stupid." Her eyes bored into mine for a solid 15 seconds. She finally tilted her head. "I do not follow. What happens when someone steals that wand and you have to follow whatever order they give? You would allow my leash to be stolen. Nobody allows anything to be stolen. That's why it's called stealing and not lending. Don't be dumb, you're better than this. Perhaps a tattoo of your heraldic symbol across my cutie mark? That is how vassals of old declared their allegiance. You're not getting a tattoo of my hand on your ass. That would send several kinds of messages that I'm not particularly interested in sending." "Then what would you suggest?" she asked. "I don't know, maybe don't be weird for like 5 minutes? In what world do you think it's appropriate that you wear a collar? What would the others think when they see it? That you keep me under control? That I make you wear a collar? Not when I tell them that I volunteered as proof of my loyalty. Yet, which would then make me the person who allowed you to wear a collar to prove your loyalty. Correct. Shall I continue, then? How do you envision that as a good thing?" "I didn't envision it as anything," she said with a shrug. "All right, let's take a few steps back, here," I said. She lifted a hoof and I immediately bopped her, leaving my finger on her nose. "That's a figure of speech. You are to stay within bopping distance." Her hoof lowered and I pulled the finger back. "When you do something, what do you think about before doing it? How that action will best serve you and what I must do to present you with the best outcome. All right, this time, don't give me a bullshit canned response." Walk me through the Luna problem-solving process. Will you give me an example problem? Sure. Let's say you think nobody trusts you and you want to do something about it. Describe the thought process that led you to think a collar would work. As you wish. I can see quite clearly that I am distrusted by everybody. I recognize that look very well. The first thing I do is consider what I want to change. I could choose to stay distrusted and feared, but that is not a desirable outcome. It is common knowledge that dogs are some of the most loyal animals in existence. It is also common for them to wear collars. You discussed it before and made it seem as though it was an option. I decided that if I could wear a collar like a dog for you, I could show off my loyalty. And what did you consider as possible downsides of this? Her eyes bored into mine yet again. After a few more seconds, her head tilted. Downsides. When you make a plan, do you consider both possible sides? Both what might go right and what might go wrong. Only when planning a battle. Why? Are you telling me that you never consider the consequences of your actions unless it involves killing people? No, of course not. I sighed in relief. Only in battles, not necessarily when killing. Oh, come on. Are you telling me you just go around murdering people? Of course not. But why would I need to consider consequences? That's what you're for. That made it my turn to stare at her for a little while. I finally cleared my throat. Can you repeat that? Of course not. But why would I? What do you mean? That's what I'm here for. You are my lady, of course. Luna, if you give me another useless non-answer, I'm going to punish you. Explain to me what you mean. My previous owner told me that I never needed to worry about a thing, that she would take care of all the little details for me. All I had to do was let her know before I did anything important and it was all okay. So many things are suddenly making sense now. And you never thought that was weird? No. Why? You're ostensibly an adult, Luna. You seriously need to consider the consequences of any possible actions you take, especially when you have the ability to turn somebody inside out. Not thinking things through is exactly what led to everything that happened between us. Are you telling me you haven't learned a single thing? Of course I learned something, she said. I learned that my sister has gotten much worse at taking care of the little things. And I know my actions have consequences. That's why I tied myself to you. Now that you own me, you will keep me from doing anything harmful. I should never need to keep you from doing anything harmful. Of course you should. It's very obvious that I'm broken, my lady. That's why you're helping fix me. I mean, I guess. Fix number 1, think about the consequences of your actions. And think about the consequences of all your actions, not just the ones you haven't made yet. Celestia and I do not need to be your moral compass. Part of being a complete person is knowing what actions are and aren't appropriate. But if I think about the consequences, why would I need you? Obviously the goal is to wean you away from needing anybody at all. You need to be able to exist as your own entity, making your own choices. I have no issue with you being my vassal, but I don't want to have to constantly look over your shoulder to make sure you aren't doing something retarded. How am I supposed to ever be able to trust you to carry out my will when you don't think about the consequences of the actions you take in my name? That made her look away. My sister was loath to trust me, too. It's pretty difficult to trust someone with no moral compass to act properly without direct supervision. Celestia kept you powerless and weak because she didn't like sharing power, and the lack of stimulation or training made it impossible for you to develop properly. Hearing you finally say this has explained so much to me. And better, it gives me an idea for how to better help you. So here is your assignment, take the night to think about the possible downsides to you wearing a collar for me. Must I? It is almost finished. I'm sure you can find something to do with a pretty silver necklace aside from turning it into a degrading collar. She looked down at her work and sighed. After a second, her lips pursed. Finally, She grinned. Very well. I shall make something else. Does this something that you're making have anything to do with expressing your loyalty to me in a way I'd find creepy? I very much hope not. I plan to create a gift. Good, that's acceptable. Just please show it to me before you give it to the recipient. As you command. And when I wake up tomorrow, you better have a reason for why wearing a collar would be a bad idea. As you wish. Now then. Twilight is on the second floor, drawing a teleport thing to the bunker. She should have it finished here pretty soon. When it's done, I want you to relay some orders to Watcher. Of course. Have him set up a rotation of people working at the bunker. Whenever anyone is off, they can be teleported back through to Canterlot. That way, they can rest here instead of having to stay on the ship. Wise. I will relay your words, my lady. I plan to enter the coma tomorrow around noon. I need to visit Ponyville before doing it, so I'll likely head that way shortly after dawn. Would you like my protection? In Ponyville? No. Besides, I'm taking Taya. We'll teleport in, talk to some people, then teleport back out. Her wings flinched a few times. I don't feel comfortable with you going anywhere without guards. I'm sure you'll survive, I said, bopping her. In case I don't see you for very long before I do the coma thing, I have a request. I would like you to speak to Celestia. As you command. That isn't a command, I said. It was a request. I won't command you to. I feel like she would enjoy getting to know you again. More to the point, I feel like she can help you, possibly better than I can. But I won't force you to make up with somebody who isn't your sister. I won't force you to be friends with her. With luck, you will not have to. I was intending to speak to her at some point, but I was concerned. My older sister is gone forever. I did not think it would affect me, but in some small way. I miss her. You aren't alone, I sighed. I never wanted it to come to this. I'm happy she's gone, but I miss her all the same. She's had such a huge impact on my life, and was central to almost everything that's happened to me while I was here. And for 5,000 years, she was one of the few people you could count on. It feels strange to mourn one who is not dead. Her personality is gone forever, I said. I don't know what more you'd need to call her dead. There's a new Celestia in her place, but all that time we had together is gone. Now that is not true, she said. Never let yourself fall into that particular hole, my lady. The time we spent with Celestia is not gone. It will live on as memories. In a year, or 5, or 10, when the pain of her passing is finally gone, they will still be there to comfort us. And with luck, we will be able to make better memories with the new Celestia. True. She tried to seduce me. And you told her no. I did, I said. It felt strange. Good. Continue telling her no. I lifted an eyebrow and she looked away. I think that would be most appropriate. And why do you think that? Her ears twitched. Come on, you can think about the consequences of my actions, but not your own. You are my lady. And you are you. Why do you think I shouldn't sleep with Celestia? I will not stand in your way, of course. If that is your choice, it is your choice. That doesn't answer the question, Luna. If you don't tell me why, I'll just assume it's because you're jealous. Her ears twitched, but her eyes met mine again. I do not trust that the elementals created something whole. You can do better than a shadow. If Flo didn't make a complete Celestia, it's up to us to fill in the cracks. I had lunch with Celestia earlier and she seemed stable to me. I might try to make time to see her tomorrow as well, to check on her before I go into the coma. She sighed and looked away. I agreed to betray my sister, Nav. I helped deliver her unto you. A part of me feels guilt every time I think about her. You had a choice to make, I said. You could have chosen to live in Celestia's shadow for the rest of your life, watching thousands be slaughtered for asking simple questions, or you could do something and try to change the world. You chose to do something, to try to change the world. Doing so required that you betray your sister. You agreed to help kill her. We could never have expected at the time that we'd have this option given to us. Of the options we had in front of us, brainwashing Celestia was likely the most humane, the least disruptive, and the least violent. I feel guilty about what we did, too. But I know I would have felt even more guilt had we actually killed her. That is true. There was no way this story ever had a happy ending. There were only sad and bittersweet options available. You tried to reason with her, but she betrayed you. I tried to be her sister, but she turned me into a beast. And apparently she drugged her personal student. Gotta love those sleeping pills, I said. There was good in her. That's the part of her I'll miss. Thankfully, the new Celestia is only good, so hopefully I won't miss the old version for long. I will likely never stop missing her. I will do my best to not let that interfere with my relationship with the new Celestia. What kind of relationship do you intend to have with her? You disowned the last Celestia and you abdicated. At the moment, I have no intentions. I will speak with her. We will establish things. With luck, we can come to terms. I've no desire to be a princess. I never did. My place is solely under you, my lady. You could not do without your battle mount. And what do you plan to do about your reputation while you're in Canterlot? I do not plan to tarry long. Once you enter the coma and after I've had a chance to speak with Celestia, I will return to the bunker to help there. If we get things settled quickly enough, I intend to return to Tartarus to await further orders. Before we could continue, someone knocked on the forge door. Open it, I said. Her horn lit up and the door pulled open, revealing Sketch and a royal guard carrying a scroll. The guard's eyes widened when he saw Luna. You really are here? I am. It seemed like he was waiting for more, but she didn't say anything. After a few seconds, I rolled my eyes. So can we help you? Right. I have a note from the PRI. Well, Princess Celestia. It's for Princess Luna. I am princess no longer, Luna replied as she floated the letter over. I have abdicated my throne and sworn myself to the service of my lady. Which is me, of course, I said, tousling her mane. She completely ignored it as she glanced over the note. Anything fun? She wants to talk. Now, apparently. Do you want to talk now? I ask. No. But the longer I wait, the more concerned I will grow. With your permission. Go for it. She took a deep breath and slowly eased it out. When she was done, her horn lit up and she disappeared. What's she doing in Canterlot? The guard asked. Well, she lives here. Were you not listening? She's my vassal now. Why wouldn't she be with her lady? What about the whole host of utterly horrifying crimes she publicly admitted to committing against you? I have two choices. I can either stay angry and bitter and seek revenge or I can let her earn her forgiveness. Given my current plans, letting her earn her forgiveness is a better option. And Princess Celestia is okay with this. I dunno, probably. I didn't think I needed Celestia's approval to make somebody a vassal. It's her sister. Who is ostensibly an adult and can make her own choices, I said, crossing my arms. Luna practically begged for this. I didn't want to do it at all, but I decided to give her a chance. And so far, I only regret it just a little. Just a little. Dude, she's super weird. Anyway, I think you have places to be that aren't here. I do, but it's a lot warmer in here. And spending time with a beautiful lady is always a plus. I lifted an eyebrow. But now that I think about it, Captain Midnight did say she needed me back quickly. Tell Blossom I said hi, I said as he speed walked out. When he was outside, he spread his wings and took off. I followed the dude out and closed the door behind me. Sketch immediately covered me in a warmth bubble. I have a question, my lady, he quietly said as we walked. Okay. You know I was one of the 2 changelings in Atlantis. Do you have any idea which I was? I suspect you aren't the one who was lusting after my lady parts, but I might be wrong. I never actually learned either of your names until you came to work for me. Ah. Forgive me, I was just curious. You are forgiven. We walked in silence for another few seconds before his ears twitched a few times. I have another question. Okay. Do you even care which I was? That made me roll my eyes, something he thankfully couldn't see. Which one were you? I honestly didn't care, but it was obviously bothering him. Well. We were both lusting after your lady parts, but I was the one who wasn't creepy about it. Do you feel better now? Spending some time back in the hives made me lust for changelings again, so yes. I may have a third question. What might that third question be? Is Doppel single? As far as I know. She feeds off lust and there's a pretty huge house full of people willing to fill her up as much as she wants, though. I've been there before. I couldn't hold it against her. Though I imagine her arrangement is far more consensual. I don't know if she's ever considered settling down with someone. That would be a conversation you'd have to have with her. Do you have any other questions rattling around in there? And no. Well, let me know if you think of any more. The only excuse for ignorance is laziness, and you were sitting in one place for far too long to be lazy anymore. You're willing to answer more. Until I get bored or annoyed, yet. But we were walking back into the house, now. My little filly was sitting at a table by herself. Silver Quill had dipped off. Piano music was coming from the main room. Preferably not tonight, though. I'm going to eat and then go to bed. Then I believe I'll go find Doppel. He wandered off to do just that while I walked over and sat next to my cute little cherry blossom. So I take it Sunny bullied you into eating? No. She told me I needed to set a good example for you. That's the same thing she told me. I think she wanted to manipulate us. Well. We do need to eat, right? I guess. We're already both here anyway and she's presumably already cooking. Will we have to get revenge later? You can use your cuteness on her when she brings the food in. Also, I have a gift for you. It's upstairs. Is it a belly rub? Nope. An ear scratch? Nope. You're not gonna give me a belly rub or ear scratches while we cuddle tonight, she asked, her lower lip quivering. Obviously I'm going to do both, but that's not the gift. I have 29 cherry blossom seeds. Before we go to bed tonight, you need to start your first backup. When it's done, plant it wherever you planted my first one. I can do that. Are you making another one, too? Yes. I plan to plant it here. Are you sure? She asked. If you ever get assassinated, this would be the first place they'd look. And if I get killed in the field, I'd rather show up home than God knows where. I'm not God. Thankfully. So did you talk to Fluttershy about what kind of pet you want? No. Have you decided what kind of pet you want? I have a few ideas. Well, we're going out near Ponyville tomorrow. If you want, we can try to talk to her about it then. Okay. She probably needs some company anyway. Probs. Maybe some of her animals ended up coming back. I hope so. The last time I saw her at her pad it almost broke my heart. Before we could continue gossiping about the most yellow element of harmony, Sunny trotted up to the table, floating 2 plates along. Taya got a fairly simple salad. I got veggie stir fry. What would I ever do without you, Sunny? I ask. Starve, she replied with a grin. Do you need anything else, my ladies? Taya wants a nuzzle, I said. In reply, Taya's magic grabbed me and forced me down so my filly could nuzzle my nose. I think she has it covered, Sunny said. If you do need anything else, I'll be in the kitchen. When she was back out of the room, I looked down at Taya. Did you tell her what to make me? Yes. Just checking. I finally began digging into the dank veggies. I prefer the feeling of meat inside of me, but substitutes are occasionally fine. When we were both finished, Taya teleported us upstairs, into my bed. So where are the seeds? She asked. In that bag on my desk, I said. She used magic to close and lock the door, then floated over the bag of seeds. You might need the tape, too. No, my fur will keep it in. How many seeds can I take? Take 15, but only make 5 for now. I want to space them out. K. While she was getting her seeds, I slid out of bed and stripped down, then fell back onto the comfy thing. Taya used magic to drag me right back to the center, next to her. Once she had the seed properly secured in her tummy, she giggled and pulled me close. Just think, Mommy. When the seed matures, nothing will ever be able to keep us apart again. What was keeping us apart before? Nothing. And now nothing ever will. Yep. You wanna get the light? Right. She flicked it off with magic and sighed in my warm arms. I just can't wait. You kinda don't have to, since we're already there. Right. So how about that belly rub? Ooh, or the ear scratches? Or both, I said, flipping her over and starting. She began moaning as Mommy worked her magic. Aqua, I need an opinion. No you don't, she said. You already know the answer. I know what my opinion is. That's why I want someone else's. You're kinda my only option at the moment. So, would it be morally bankrupt for you to erase Taya's sexual desire for me? Obviously not, because her desire is morally bankrupt to begin with. Helping her remove it would be doing you both a favor. To be quite honest, I don't know if I could trust Taya to come into the coma and save me as she is right now. She might very well turn me into something I don't want to be. You have a choice, Nav. You can trust that your filly will do what's best for you at the expense of her own feelings, or you can let me erase those disgusting feelings of hers and be sure that she'll do what's best. And that can be done, right? I know Celestia was completely reworked and I think you were planning on doing the same to me, but can you erase something without her realizing and without actually erasing her? Yes, of course. She'll know that she no longer has a crush on you, but to her, it'll be just like falling out of lust. It'll be just like when I changed your mind in order to make you agree to let her become a tree sister in the first place. You had no idea it happened until I told you. Then I guess I do have a choice to make. End of the chapter.